Wow, let's go.
And they put some fish out.
Mom, the water's supposed to be. Whoa. The water's supposed to be. This is nice.
You see him, Molly?
That is super nice.
Really cool story. He was originally from the Pacific Northwest, and he was one of those sea lions down at Bonneville Dam who just had a voracious appetite for salmon, and those salmon are endangered, so National Marine Fisheries decided that he was a sea lion that needed to be relocated. So he went to a facility in California for several years, and then he just arrived back in the Pacific Northwest a few months ago. So we're thrilled to have him back where he's originally from, to be able to tell the story of the population of sea lions, and then also to help visitors realize that we want to protect sea lions and all the critters that share the oceans with them and our local waters of Puget Sound. So the numbers were placed on him by National Marine Fisheries. He was one of the animals that had a voracious appetite for that salmon. So it was their way of being able to track him and see if he kept on coming back to eat those salmon. He is about 16 years of age and he is full grown. He's a sexually mature adult male sea lion. He ranges in size between about 700 and 950 pounds. So what happens is during breeding season, right before then, they bulk up on food and they get their biggest. During breeding season, they don't eat as much. Their main concern is dating, not eating, and they lose a lot of weight. So when he first got here, we needed to get to know him because he is 800 pounds and you can't just assume, hey, I can work with you and it's no problem. You're 800 pounds, I'm not, you're a wild animal, I'm a human. So we worked him for a little bit in what we call protected contact, and that means there's always some kind of barrier between us and him to build that relationship. We're slowly starting to work in what we call modified protected contact, and then hopefully at some point we'll work in what we call totally free contact. That means there is no barrier whatsoever. But we're not going to do that until we feel confident that we can read him. He's very inquisitive. He's a thinker. When you ask him to do something, lots of times he won't do it right away, but he thinks about, what are they saying? How should I do this? One of the behaviors that I like that he has the most is what we call a default behavior. That means when he doesn't know what to do, what does he do? And his default behavior is go into the water. That's a really good default behavior. You don't want a wild animal to have the default behavior of biting. He is going to be on exhibit in the mornings from 9:30 to 1, and then in the afternoons we'll rotate him out and we'll put the walruses on exhibit. So he's sharing this exhibit but not with the walruses at the same time.